This is The Weekly Set, the official podcast of TVEnthusiast.com. Episode 100, recorded March 23rd, 2017. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Weekly Set, the official podcast of TVEnthusiast.com. I am your host and editor-in-chief of TV Enthusiast. My name is Tyson. Joining me today, as always, is Will.
Hello.
A special guest for our 100th podcast, which is what this is. Back on the podcast is Ed.
What's up, everybody? Sorry, I am sick. I am a little sick. My throat's a little raspy, so I apologize for that, but I will get better soon, hopefully.
So today, we are going to go over a little bit about Iron Fist, which just hit Netflix recently. Then we're going to be talking, we're going to be playing a little game of trivia. I got some trivia questions kind of to go over. And it's actually something I've been wanting to do, but it's mostly been on the podcast, just Will and I figure like I couldn't just ask Will a bunch of trivia questions.
Sure you could. True or false? True or false question.
Exactly. True or false.
So, we have some trivia I've been wanting to do for a while. Then we're going to be talking about what's coming up in the week ahead, which is what we always kind of do at the end of the podcast now. But then after that, I also want to go over some of the kind of milestones coming up in the next month, because next month is pretty much like, so there's lots of good stuff coming up in the next month. So I thought it would be kind of fun just to go over some of those things while we have Ed here. Started with Iron Fist. So Iron Fist, it's the latest of the Marvel Netflix shows. It's the last one before the Defenders crossover series. Their series has got like negative impressions right out the gate. Like reviewers had like the first 6 episodes made available to them, and it just immediate like disdain started coming forward. So it was like, okay, we knew this was coming. We knew kind of what we were getting into when we got into it. So first episode of it, I finished the series. Will's watched the first 3. We're going to kind of go over a little bit about what's going on in Iron Fist, what our general impressions are, what we think, they could have done right, and what they maybe didn't. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that first. So right off the bat, I just want to get quick general impressions of what you've seen so far. Let's start with Will.
Okay, I was more interested to start with Ed, but okay. So general impressions, it's boring. It's very bland. No, all the characters so far are boring. They don't seem to have any personality aside from Colleen Wing, but she can't carry the show by herself. The show isn't called Colleen Wing, it's called Iron Fist, and Danny Rand is quite possibly the most boring protagonist in a Netflix show.
I would dispute that, like in a Netflix show, because I don't know if you guys have seen Marco Polo, but that had
no, I never watched
a very bland protagonist.
I think that was one of the main criticisms for Marco Polo too, was that everything else is great, but for protagonists, it wasn't, there was very little that we cared about. It's very interesting that you brought up Marco Polo, because I actually felt very similar about that.
So that's Ed chiming in there. Ed, give us your kind of general impressions, going a little bit beyond that. What you saw the first episode, we're like, oh, okay, I'm done. So
you don't want me to rant just yet, right? You just want a general impression of what I felt?
Yeah.
Okay, it was shit, and I could not get through the first episode. Let's make that very clear. I normally will give an episode or a TV show about 4 or 5 episodes before I give up on it. I couldn't even get through the first one. And I'm a Marvel guy. I love Marvel. I think they've done almost everything right so far. I'll even defend Iron Man 2, because I know everyone hates Iron Man 2. They love to hate Iron Man 2. I actually would defend that.
I can't. That movie.
Yeah, I know. It gets a lot of hate from a lot of people, but I love I enjoyed it. I mean, I know there's flaws. Same thing with the Avengers, the sequel.
Yeah.
I can't get behind Iron Fist at all. Like, and I can go into more detail. Just in the first 15 minutes alone of the first episode turned me right off. I thought this was some kind of sick April Fool's joke or something, but that's just my...
So you had a more rich girl. I was just trying not to fall asleep. I think as much as Ed hated those first 15 minutes, like, I didn't feel torture until I start to watch the second episode. And believe me, I was struggling with the second episode. He's in a mental hospital, and he's still trying to convince people he's Danny Rand, and I'm just like, this is not interesting. Why is he in a mental hospital? Why isn't cool stuff happening? Why? And I literally had to stop. I literally stopped the episode several times to just do other things, because this is, and I usually don't do that. I usually sit there, I'm like, okay, I want to sit down and watch this, but it's like, it got to be too much for me, where I was just like, okay, I'm hating this. I'm taking a break. I'm doing something I enjoy, and then I'm going to come back to it. I think at one point, 20 minutes towards the end of it, I was like, okay, I'm going to finish this tonight, because I don't have to want to finish it tomorrow. And I was like, I'm going to finish this tonight. And I started looking at NeoGAF, and then I said, shit, it's late. I need to go to bed. And then when I woke up in the morning, I'm like, I didn't finish that episode of Iron Fist.
Never a good thing when you're like contemplating sleep and you're like, no, I need to go to bed when a new show drops.
Yeah.
So
I think I have a little bit of a higher tolerance for shit than either of you guys do.
No. I would dispute that. I have a very high tolerance. I love shit. I love like cheesy shows or like bad shows. I sat through Shadowhunters. I had no problem with cheese on that show, and I know it was not a good show. By any defining word of good, it wasn't good.
Listen, but, I could sit through any episode of Arrow without having these kinds of problems.
Mm-hmm.
It was this show was like the first TV show in a long time where it was really challenging my ADHD. Mm-hmm. my ability to concentrate on it was being like challenged heavily, and I was just like, oh, come on.
It was weird because, well, first, I'll admit I don't know much about the Iron Fist comic or the character. This is one of the ones I was not familiar with. But I was talking to a couple people. I went out earlier this evening to go watch Power Rangers, the movie, which is actually good. I can break that to you. It is good. So if you are listening,
breaking news,
go see it. It's good. Does not suck. But I was talking to one of my friends about Iron Fist, and they had read the comic, and they were saying it's a very difficult character to do. One, for the reason he's just not that interesting. So they kind of had an issue right off the bat that they had to do something with his character to make him interesting. And in my opinion, it just from the first episode, it felt like they were just relying on the typical, I guess I don't consider Marvel to be a corporate machine like a lot of people do, but I felt the wheels turning here. Like it was like where we got this character, we're not going to give him too many interesting stakes. He's gonna have this kind of villain, and things are gonna happen, and you're gonna care only because we have the Defenders coming up next year. Yeah. And that literally, it just felt like it was just, we got to get through this. We got nothing for you, but here's a new season.
I guess this makes sense because there was the thing where the rumors where they were struggling to figure out how to adapt Iron Fist.
There were rumors it was going to be canceled, that like they just weren't doing Iron Fist.
Right.
Because they can't figure it. I think maybe this is a sign of those rumors. Like maybe it's the way it is because they just couldn't figure it out. But they went ahead and did it anyway.
I'm going to go over my quick impressions, and then we're going to kind of go over some of the struggles that the series faced and kind of a lot of the reasons why maybe it didn't turn out that well. But my initial impressions are whenever I watch one of the like Marvel Netflix shows, I tend to make it through about 7 episodes before I'm just dead on my feet because of time, just because it's like in the morning and I'm like, I can't stay awake anymore.
Yeah, this dude like pulls an old every time.
Like 7 episodes has been for me. Like is what I've made through with Daredevil season 2, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, all of those right around 7 episodes. I think Jessica Jones I might have watched like 8 the first day.
Right.
right around there. I made it through 3 and I was like passing out. I'm like, okay, I can't watch this. And I don't know how much of that is just that the show itself was really boring and how much of that was that I just was tired that night or something. Mm-hmm. I can't say for sure.
I would say probably the show, if you were tired, the show probably exacerbated that for you.
Yeah. So
and I remember around episode 8 of Jessica Jones, it was starting to drag a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. I remember around that point.
That's a problem that every one of the Netflix Marvel series has had. They're all too long. Mm-hmm. I think Daredevil season 1 probably should have been about 10 episodes. Jessica Jones, probably, between 8 to 10 episodes. Daredevil season 2 probably could have been a really, really tight 8-episode run. Luke Cage, I think before Iron Fist, Luke Cage had big problems in its second half. I think it like really started to kind of fall apart, and it felt like, okay, this really should have ended at like 8 episodes. This would have been tight. It would have been nice, but they like completely lost focus towards the end. They could have like made this a really nice, tight, like 5-episode season. Having watched the whole thing.
I've watched Luke Cage. I actually don't mind it. Like, it is the weaker of the 3, for sure.
It's the second half where it falls apart.
The second half is definitely weaker than the first half, but I thought the first half was very strong. So
I did too. I thought it was probably possibly the best of them all in the first half, and then the second half started.
But I feel like, with the exception of Daredevil, I would include Daredevil. Other than season 1, I personally thought season 1 was perfect. Like if you were going to remove an episode, it might have been the one where they introduced what's his name? Scott Glenn character. I should know this. Stick.
Okay.
Yeah. I would probably say that would probably be the only episode that they could have probably removed. But I thought season 1 was really tight. Season 2, the setup. It took a really long time for me to get into it. It took about 3 episodes before I was invested. Jessica Jones and Luke. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought season 2 Daredevil grabbed me from the first episode because they kind of like went all in right away. They introduced the Punisher up front. Mm-hmm. The Punisher and Daredevil got into a fight right in the first episode. So I thought they were going all out to make this interesting and cool, and I was pretty into it.
I think for me what happened was first episode felt a little too familiar to season 1. Even with the introduction of the Punisher.
I agree.
And then I think the next 2 episodes almost felt like they were just rehashing, because he fights the Punisher like at least once in every episode. So I think I got the point, and then I was like, okay, where is this going? And it didn't really hit me until the end of episode 3, where the Punisher's on the roof and he's already been defeated by Daredevil, and then the cops come to arrest him. Then I was like, okay, this is different. I didn't think it was going to go this way, and I think that then I got hooked to it. I don't know. That was Daredevil though. I know we're not really talking about that, so.
Let's talk about some of Luke Cage's issues, like outside of the quality of the series itself, but just some of the issues it had going in. So, like Will said, this is a series that, like, there were heavily rumored that they were going to cancel, that it wasn't going to happen, that they were going to use Punisher in place of Iron Fist.
But I mean, that's speculative. We don't know the validity of it.
But there was also like a weird lull in news about Iron Fist where it seemed like it probably should have come quicker. The showrunner was announced. That was kind of like a concerning thing for me, because I looked at the showrunner's resume the last several seasons of Dexter.
Yeah, Scott.
Not good.
I mean,
I'm like, that is not a good resume to start.
People talk about the last seasons of Dexter, like Dexter literally murdered their parents. It was bad. I skipped the last season of that show, but
the last season in particular of Dexter is pretty abysmal.
Oh,
the last episode of Dexter is like an insult almost.
It's one of the lowest rated TV episodes on IMDb, if I'm not mistaken. I think it has like a 4.4 or 4.3 or something.
Oh yeah, that last episode is horrifically bad.
Dexter is one of those shows that really took a dive in the last few seasons, I would say. Like the last season was just awful, like straight through. I barely got through it. And the last episode is probably the worst episode of TV I've seen. So yeah, that was definitely a concern. I think for me, here's my problem with Iron Fist, and I don't want to get into too much of a rant. Stop me if I do. So This show starts, okay? And it starts with this guy who we don't know. He walk into this office building, and he's like, I need to see this guy. And right from the secretary's reaction, I felt like something was off. He's like, well, he's not in right now. But then in like another 5 minutes, we learn that he's dead. So I'm like, why didn't you just say that? You don't know who this guy is. Why didn't you just say that from the get-go? And
I know.
It's like you don't know who this guy is. Why are you like, oh, he's not in, or and then all of a sudden he's like, just one moment, please. And then these two security guards, I swear it was like a bad comedy. They just pick him up and like throw him outside the office, outside of the building. And then I was like, okay, what is happening? And then this is where it gets, for me, I just started laughing. He walked back in and does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And then for no reason, they start fighting with the security guard. For no reason, he knocks them both out. I'm like, this is not helping your chances getting up to the floor to meet this guy. This is not going to help you. And the fight scene, what the hell was that?
Like, Danny is like that in the show.
Yeah.
Like the second episode, which I know you did, but like in the second episode, he's in this mental hospital and they're drugging him up, and he keeps claiming he's Danny Rand, and the doctors don't believe him and stuff. And then at towards the end of the episode, the main doctor like finds out, realizes he actually is Danny Rand, and so he's going to let him go. He's going to let him free, and then but then the doctor asks Danny, what happened to him after the plane crash, and instead of just like lying about what he's been and where he's been doing, Danny just says, "Oh, I was in Kunlun." And he's like, "Well, where's that?" And he's like, "It's in another dimension, and I'm the Iron Fist, and I'm the only one who could defeat the Hand."
They they just hammer on the exposition like it's no tomorrow.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have. That's not part of that like makes the show boring, because it's like all the dialogue is just exposition, and I'm just like, this is awful. Why are we just explaining things?
A big part of the problem there is that it's Danny Rand's character as he's portrayed in this is it's like he's an autistic child, like not even autistic adult, like he's like an autistic 6-year-old.
Yeah, because he's
like wants to sit you down and explain every detail about his toy fire trucks.
Because he's telling us because he's telling the psychiatrist who's about to let him go that he was in another dimension becoming like the Iron Fist, and then the psychiatrist was gonna let him go, and he's like, okay, we need to get you on some different treatment. He's like, we're gonna keep you. And I'm like, why would you do that, Danny? Why would you do that? This was painful enough, and then you went and ruined it. Like, I don't understand it. It's not like because, and you would guess like maybe since he was like basically raised by monks in another dimension, that like maybe he's just like super truthful to like his own detriment. But that's not true, because in that episode we find out that he made up a fake passport just so he could get back into the U.S. and he lied about it.
And he couldn't even, just to like say agree to that part or something.
So it's
weird
like
inconsistency that, and then it's like never addressed again.
So it's not like he's super truthful or just bound to like tell the truth all the time. He's an idiot, I guess.
Yeah.
He's like a child. That's the thing. It's like the whole time he's like a child. And like when he talks about kung fu, it's like I said, it's like some kid going like, "Ooh, this is the crane style in my Ninja Go like Lego like series.
Oh my God,
like, look at this sword. This is the sword that has 3 notches on it." And it's like that's the way Danny talks through the whole series. Pretty much, he's like a child. Yeah. He's like he wants to tell you every detail about his toy fire truck, and it's like kind of annoying. It's just like, this is like you guys said. I don't have a lot of experience with Iron Fist as a character. The one thing I knew about Iron Fist,
I don't have.
He's supposed to have like an epic romance with Luke Cage.
Yeah,
and that's supposed to be like the best thing about Iron Fist is his relationship with Luke Cage.
I don't see how this guy would be Luke Cage's bro.
Yeah.
I also don't understand that. I watched a video where the two of them were meeting for the first time on a video conference call, like as this, Iron Fist had already wrapped production and they were like getting ready for Defenders.
Mm-hmm.
All the chemistry testing they did between Jessica Jones and Luke Cage when they cast those two actors. Right. They spent a long time doing chemistry testing. They didn't do anything for Luke Cage and Iron Fist, even though those two characters are supposed to be like, they're supposed to have like the coolest like friendship in the entire Marvel comic universe.
Which makes us a little
and like
worried.
They don't do any chemistry testing between them?
Well, that's gonna make us worried for Defenders, so regardless of whatever happened during the production of Iron Fist, because we've heard of problems on productions before and them turning out okay. So and we can't really confirm what happened. But for me, Iron Fist fails for three reasons, and these are the three, and from just what I saw, the most glaring problems with the show. The first is being it has no sense of tone or what it wants to be. Like Daredevil was the first Netflix show, so nobody knew what we were getting in for. But the first scene is this brutal fight where like someone's bone gets snapped. Like the fighting is dark. You can tell right away what kind of show you're getting into.
Yeah.
You obviously know.
Daredevil is like a gritty.
Yeah. It's a more mature, it's a gritty take on the Marvel Universe. Jessica Jones, same thing, right from the get-go. This is not going to be a superhero show. This is going to be a very different show about someone suffering from PTSD, and it prepares you for that. Luke Cage, same thing. It's more of an urban type of feel, more comedy, more lighter-hearted, but at the same time, there's some serious issues that it's raising regarding race and superheroes and whatnot, which was great. Iron Fist, I had no idea what tone it was trying to go for. Was it supposed to be funny? Was it supposed to be serious? I don't know. It just was, nothing was established within the first 20 minutes. The second biggest problem for me is the fact that Finn Jones, I don't know anything else he's been in, but he is terrible in this show. And
he was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he was in Game of Thrones.
Was he Game of Thrones? He's terrible in this show. Like, he does not hold much chemistry in. And I think a lot of the reasons
I don't know if I put that on him, though.
I won't put it on him.
I got the feel. I think it's more the writing. I think
the writing is. I'll get into the writing right afterwards. The problem is he's not selling this material to me. Like, I know when you're handed that script, you're probably like, I really can't make gold out of this, and you can't. But he doesn't have that chemistry. He feels out of place, and that's what worries me about the Defenders when they have that, because how is he going to play off these other three characters who have been very well established? And you say this chemistry between Finn Jones and Luke Cage.
He's gonna be Daredevil. He's gonna be like, hey, did you hear about Kunlun? I was in Kunlun.
It's not. I don't see it, and that's an issue for me. The third is aside from the terrible writing, this is supposed to be a show with martial arts in it, and martial arts. And if you're going for that tone, you have to establish.
Daredevil established.
Oh yeah, but if
fight scenes,
some of the best fighting I've seen on TV, for sure. Iron Fist, this fight system that they use is awful. Like it takes its cue from.
It does get better as the series goes on. There are
not
better
even
fights.
the fights like made these episodes like interesting for me, because I'm like, oh, okay.
I got to the point where I was counting how many edits and how many cuts they were making. I swear the first fight scene alone had like 6 or 7 edits. That means every time he's throwing a punch, we're seeing it from 2 or 3 different angles. Right. And when I watch martial arts, if I want to see a martial arts show, that's not what I want to see. I want to see choreography. I want to know that the actor is doing stunts. And
I want to see the cool moves. I want to see them as they happen.
Especially
Finn Jones has no background in martial arts. That's a problem. He was cast, I think, a month before they went into production. Mm-hmm. No time to properly prepare for the character that's supposed to be. He's supposed to be arguably the best martial artist in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. Daredevil's a better martial artist than himself.
Anyone
in the comics, I mean, he's supposed to be like the best.
I know I know they have him parading around like he's amazing at martial arts in the show. Like they tried to make like a point of it, but
we need to see it, man. And
there are a few cool fights later on. I'd say there are a few fights that reference specific kind of kung fu movies. There's one that's kind of a take on Drunken Master that's actually pretty cool. It's not Finn Jones. It's not Iron Fist that's the Drunken Master. It's the person he's fighting. But they do a few different things like that actually are kind of interesting in the fights, but the problem with the fighting in the show comes down to time. I think this was rushed. I think they didn't know what to do with Iron Fist, and then they said, you know what? We have to get this done because we have Defenders coming.
There's other things too, like the supporting cast is not as interesting either.
Mm-hmm.
Like
another case with two actors.
I could kind of forgive Danny Rand being kind of lame if he had a good supporting cast, but like the Meachums, like especially like Ward Meachum is like he's completely wooden all the time.
See, that's the thing. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He was in Banshee. He was amazing in Banshee. He played this like former white supremacist that was all like tattooed up, and he was like a total action badass on that show.
Well, if he was a good, well, he's not a
character. Completely flat here.
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of the actors here not having a clue or being very confused as to what is either happening in a scene.
Yeah.
What their characters were not defined. Either the actor couldn't figure it out and they weren't given much direction. Either way, the way I see it is that we have
the villain. His dad is like he's a complete scenery chewing. Typical.
He's horrible, but he was in Lord of the Rings, and he was great in Lord of the Rings.
David Wenham is a good actor. Like,
he's
that's
good.
The
thing. A lot of the actors here that are pulling in these bad wooden performances, they're actually good actors pulling in bad wooden performances. That's why, I think Finn Jones is going to get the majority of the slack for everything that went wrong here, and I kind of feel like that might be the wrong place to look.
It's definitely
for Finn Jones.
It's definitely not it's definitely not the worst thing about, like, it's like you have to blame, there's a lot of reasons why the show failed. It's one, I'm sorry, Scott Buck should not be running shows, because this is a prime example of why that's not a good idea. The writing is terrible.
Running in Humans, which just has me concerned all over again.
Oh yeah, the directing is terrible, but the thing is that even through all of that, an actor who is carrying a show, carrying a film, they have to have something that makes us want to relate, like them. Even if say I just watched Beauty and the Beast, and Ewan McGregor, Ian McKellen, all those actors are not actually in the movie. It's just their voice talent, but they bring something to those roles where it's like I totally can buy, like I root for them. With Finn Jones, he doesn't bring that here. Like he's just deadpan, or he's funny when he's not supposed to be, and he's not funny when he's supposed to be funny. It's like it's all over the place. And regardless of what, like I said, I probably will see him in something else and like him in that, but here he's completely lost, and that could be a result of bad direction or not understanding the character or being.
I think that's exactly it. I think it's bad direction and a lack of understanding of the character as it's presented.
But it's a huge struggle. It makes the show a huge struggle to get through, because even a bad show with an actor that you like in front of the camera, you can try to get through it. But here, I was just like, I need to watch something else. That was, that's just how.
How about the scene in episode 2 where Colleen is being followed by these guys, and they're very menacing, and then she fights them off, and then those guys turn out to be her students, and it was like an exercise or something, and I'm just like, the hell?
I will say that pays off later.
Does it? Because
I kind of get that. Yes.
That just.
I could spoil it for you if you want.
Don't bother spoiling. I was just saying it comes in the middle of the episode.
It doesn't seem like it would pay off. It does.
It comes in the middle.
Looking back on that scene, it makes sense.
It comes in the middle of the episode when nothing is happening because Iron Fist is in freaking mental hospital and it's boring as shit. And so you think, yes, something's finally happening, and then it's like some dumb swerve where it's like, oh, these are her students and she was teaching them. I don't know.
It definitely wasn't well done. Its placement in the episode wasn't well done. The way it was executed wasn't well done. But
she was teaching them how to stalk people. I don't understand what the lesson was supposed to be.
Looking back, that has a purpose, I will say.
Okay,
I haven't seen the full season. I mean, I could spoil it for you, but
that just really stuck out.
Exactly why, but
that just really stuck out to me in that episode as just being totally pointless and kind of stupid.
It almost feels like that scene in The Matrix Reloaded where Neo just walks into this room and he fights this guy, and they have this huge fight, and then he's like, good. And I'm like, why? What was that for? He's like, oh, I just had to be sure that you're the one. 1. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, that was so pointless. So that almost sounds like that a little bit.
It was actually like looking back, it actually ties into something that you kind of know about later on as the season goes on.
Well, I know there was
like it doesn't make any sense in that context. It doesn't make any sense for several more episodes.
I know
so it's wasted the way it's used, but it makes sense looking back.
I know in episode 3 that Colleen Wing was like one of her students is involved in illegal fighting or something, and
that's not what I'm talking about though. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And she gives him this big speech about how it brings dishonor to him or something, and that when he graduates she has to vouch for like his personal character, and if he's doing illegal fighting she can't vouch for him, and then she goes and she gets into an illegal fight herself for money. And that's not
I totally
either.
I agree that it's a mess what's going on. I'm just saying that those questions in your head, those like, what the fuck does this mean questions floating in your head, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it was placed well, that it was well done the way it was set up at all.
I can see what Will's trying to say though, because the thing is, like, we don't know that was going to pay off later on. And the show, that means that the show the show's relying on us to be emotionally invested enough to want to continue watching the show pay it off. But the thing is,
exactly the thing.
Yeah, so we're not given that right away, and that's on the show. That's not on like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh totally. What it should do is it should present that in a way that's interesting enough that you understand it at the beginning, and that later on takes on a different meaning.
Right, and you're like, oh, and not just
that was totally it does stupid. Take on that different meaning later on, but it doesn't do anything to make any sense at all before that. It's kind of like it got one of those parts and it completely flopped the more important part.
Wow. Yeah.
I'll say, having seen the whole series, I did enjoy it a lot more than I did early on. I think it does get better. It does not get great. Danny Rand's character remains completely inconsistent and or just consistently bad. It's not, he just doesn't work right, you know. And again, like I said, I feel really bad for Finn Jones because I think he's going to get the brunt of the backlash on this, and I think that he is likely a very small part of the problem. I think, you know, the showrunner is probably the biggest. I think the second biggest problem is probably the fact that this series seems to be more so than any of the other ones. This seems like they said they needed to get it out the gate to get to Defenders, and they just did that. They just forced it out the gate.
You know, if they went right to the action and stuff, it probably would have been a stronger show, but they tried to like do all this character drama, except their characters suck. And so it's like
I think you know, like Luke Cage was in Jessica Jones. They should have had Luke Cage in Iron Fist.
I don't think having Luke Cage around would actually help this show. But
well, obviously other things would have to be fixed too, but like that, the chemistry between Luke Cage and Iron Fist should have been one of the top priorities going in, because it's going to be so important going into Defenders, and we have no idea if that's going to work at all.
No, I have no problem with, because I would rather not have Luke Cage in the show and like have Iron Fist stand on his own. But the problem is they're doing like a really bad job of it. And so it's like, I don't want other superheroes in this show. I just want Iron Fist to be cool.
I mean, like I said, Breeze does get better as it goes along, but it's the core problem is still there.
He may be better in the Defenders because it's a different showrunners, a different team of writers, right? So who knows? Maybe they'll find a way to get that chemistry between Iron Fist, Luke Cage. Maybe he'll fit in better there, because it's just, and who knows if I don't think they'll do an Iron Fist season 2, but even if they did, if they had a different showrunner or a different team of writers, they may have something of substance there. They just have to figure it out.
I feel like they could do. I don't think they should just give up, but they have to approach it differently, because the way they're approaching it now is not working.
Exactly, and I've heard that the season does get better.
No one
said it's worth sticking around for. They're like, nah, you'll watch watch it or not. Right?
They approached, showrunner for Luke Cage said he approached Luke Cage like it was like a 70s blaxploitation.
Yeah.
And that at least gave him a baseline to come up with a certain style, a certain attitude that was going to define that show. And I think for the most part it was successful. Mm-hmm. Even with the weak second half.
Exactly.
I think so. They should have modeled Iron Fist should have been a 70s kung fu film.
100%.
I agree. Yeah. I agree completely. On that front, I think they could have done that.
They should have done this as a kung fu film instead of trying to make like some character drama or what the hell ever, because that doesn't work.
A legal drama or something, a business drama. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like some kind of business drama. It's so far. It's not a superhero show. It's not a kung fu show.
Rand Corporation is like the trade negotiations from Star Wars. Episode 1.
Yeah. So that's what we watch Star Wars for, trade negotiations.
Yes. So I think that's the main problem with the show. It's the show. The show is trying to, like, the source material. The source materials is one thing, and then the show is trying not to be that thing.
It should have been the most fun of the Netflix Marvel shows.
Yeah,
that's kind of what Iron Fist is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like really fun, a character that's just gleeful about his martial arts and enjoys fighting and stuff.
It's going to be like this super serious drama that they're trying to make.
So yeah, there's issues of tone. Like I said, I think I primarily blame the combination of the showrunner and the fact clearly Rush are the two things that I think I blame more than anything.
Right.
But I will say I did, get some enjoyment of the series when I take it as a whole. There were parts that ended up being good. Some of the concerns were addressed, maybe not in the best way, but they were kind of addressed later on, some of them. I think the core issues are still the same. I think Danny Rand is incredibly just a not really well-developed character. He never gets past that. That doesn't change. So I think all those issues are still there. That the villains are still, all mustache twirly. It doesn't change. The fights get a little bit better as it goes on, and that's about it.
The villain is mustache twirly, yeah. I know the hand.
Four villains that come in, but
yeah.
I will say one thing though is that this is the first time where we actually get like a better, where the hand kind of in Daredevil season 2, I think the hand was very, very poorly used. Like I think that was probably the biggest problem with season 2 of Daredevil.
Right.
In this, like you actually kind of get a better understanding of the hand, so that kind of plays a part, and that makes it a little bit more interesting. Like it accidentally did that. The fact that you have more of these hand characters in the series able to do something that, they just weren't willing to do for you in Daredevil season 1 when they were still staying so vague about it.
Right.
Let's wrap up our Iron Fist discussion.
Yeah, I don't have much to add to that because I've only seen one episode and my interest to watch more was heavily diminished after the first 15 minutes. So it was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I hit all the points I want to hit. So.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm a Marvel guy. Like this movie should. I mean, this movie.
Oh yeah.
The show should have been made. Like it was made.
I'm a Marvel fanboy. Yeah, I'm a. I'm not gonna be there. It doesn't mean it can't get better. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was mind-numbingly dull when that premiered. I thought all the characters were flat, save for Coulson. I just thought
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. took like half a season before it got interesting.
Well, they had an issue in the sense that they were told, oh, by the way, we're disbanding S.H.I.E.L.D. halfway through your first season. So they didn't have much that they could do for the first half season. They just kind of had to wait it out. And
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the characters. I thought it was boring. So like after the first episode, I stopped watching it. But now it's a good show. Now it's all those characters who are boring and lame when shows start are actually interesting, actually have depth. So they really turn that ship around, and there's no reason to think that, they can't do the same with Iron Fist. It's just right now.
They get rid of the showrunner.
It's just right now. It's not good.
I think the thing with S.H.I.E.L.D. was that they didn't have much that they could do with the first half of that season. They had to kind of just show them in situations, and it became very self-contained episodes, which what they were doing itself wasn't that interesting.
Right.
Yeah, so they had to. It was like waiting it out. So it seemed that there was a purpose, even with the first half being not as good as the second half. It seemed that they had an idea of where this was going, or at least going into the show. So they knew that they had to kind of just wait it out. Whereas with Iron Fist, it seems that there was no direction, like right from the get-go. They seemed that they just went all over the place. And,
with Iron Fist, I think they needed to set up some things about the hand that hadn't been set up yet. I think that they probably did not want, they probably had decided they weren't going to. Then they realized, oh shit, we need to set up this stuff for Iron Fist, or we're going to be stuck in exposition nightmare when we hit Defenders. So basically, they just shoved Iron Fist out the door to resolve those issues, and it's loaded with holes because of it.
Yes.
But let's move on. Let's do some trivia.
Sure, let's do it.
This is our first round doing trivia. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you each a chance to make your guess, and then I'll tell you if you guys are right or wrong instead of like beeping in, because there's like delay issues and stuff with the way we're recording voice over IP. I can't really do it fair as like a buzz. Basically, don't say anything until the question's over, and I call on you for it, and I'll trade turns for each of you. So, after serving as a writer on The X-Files, this current showrunner became a household name after telling the story of a chemistry teacher's Ed.
Oh, Vince Gilligan.
Will.
Right.
Vince Gilligan.
Yep, you both got that.
Okay.
As soon as you said X-Files, I'm thinking Gilligan or Carter, and then as soon as you said chemistry teacher, I was like, no, I know who that is.
Yeah. Not a lot of chemistry teachers on TV.
Can we get Vince Gilligan running Iron Fist? Because I think that'd be a great idea.
Oh, he'd be awesome at doing that. Then it would actually have like wit and charm.
Right.
Question. This Game of Thrones star has appeared in HBO's Oz and FX's Nip Tuck.
I haven't watched either of those shows. Like, I'm gonna guess, I don't freaking know.
Is it like a series regular on those shows, or was he just like or he or she just like a guest star?
I'm just saying he appeared.
He appeared.
We'll go first, because Ed went first last time.
I don't know. Crap.
What were the two shows again? It was Nip Tuck and what?
Nip Tuck and Oz.
Jeez. I can't even remember actors' names from Game of Thrones now.
I'm trying to think.
Let's see.
Yeah, you got me. I'm thinking Harold Perrineau, but I'm like, when was he on Game of Thrones?
yeah. Right. Let's see. I don't know. Peter Dinklage.
And Ed?
I'm gonna go with Charles Dance.
Ooh, good one.
Okay, yeah. I'll go over these once I get to the first round.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
Okay, so next question: which of the following Star Trek shows did Hannibal showrunner Brian Fuller not write for?
Oh, not write for.
Yes,
Star Trek, the original series?
Discovery, Enterprise, Voyager, or Deep Space Nine?
Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, I'm going with Deep Space. No, he did write for Deep Space Nine. I'm pretty sure he wrote for Deep. What were the questions? The choices again? Voyager.
You're right.
Discovery.
It's Enterprise. He didn't write
Enterprise.
for Enterprise.
Yeah. Deep Space Nine.
It's Enterprise. He did not write for Enterprise.
He did not write for Enterprise. Yes, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Enterprise, because I think
he wrote a couple. If I'm not mistaken, he wrote a couple of DS9 episodes, because that's how he got the gig for Voyager.
Yeah,
that's how he got
that
Voyager.
Yeah.
And Enterprise was not good, so he had nothing to do with that.
So
I thought Enterprise was actually better than Voyager. So,
Ed and I are reading each other's minds, because some of the things that he's bringing up are coming up later. And Legion showrunner Noah Hawley created which of these three short-lived shows featuring Lost actor Harold Perrineau? Constantine or Wedding Band?
Wait, what were they?
Constantine, The Unusuals, or Wedding Band?
I'm going to say
shows feature actor director Harold Perrineau. One of them was created by Fargo and Legion showrunner Noah Hawley.
I know Noah Hawley had nothing to do with Constantine.
I think it's The Unusuals.
I'm gonna go with The Unusuals.
I think it's The Unusuals. That's the one with Jeremy Renner, right? And Amber Tamblyn.
Yes.
Yeah, it's The Unusuals.
Okay. And next question. Which of the following classic TV shows is a remake, noting that the rest of these are spin-offs?
Wait,
Mork
what?
and Mindy, Three's Company, The Jeffersons.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
One of those is a remake, the rest are spin-offs.
Oh, Three's Company is a remake of a British show. Some Jack's Nest or something like that. I don't know. All I know is that Three's Company is a remake of a British show.
Ed?
So it's between the two, right? It's Mork and Mindy or Three's Company?
It's Mork and Mindy, Three's Company, Empty Nest, or The Jeffersons. One is a remake, the rest are spin-offs.
Yes.
I am not sure on this one. I might want to go with Three's Company just because Will seems so sure.
I'm 100% positive.
Okay, I'll go with Will. I'm taking Will's. I know. I'm totally cheating on this last question. I'm sorry.
So that's the first round. So I'll go over the answers now. After serving as a writer on the X-Files, this current showrunner became a household name after telling the story of a chemistry teacher's downfall. That's Vince Gilligan. This Game of Thrones star has appeared in HBO's Oz and FX's Nip Tuck. That would be Peter Dinklage.
Oh, nice, Will.
Yeah, nice.
Which of the following Star Trek shows did Hannibal showrunner Brian Fuller not write for? That would be Enterprise.
Yes.
Fargo and Legion showrunner Noah Hawley created which of these 3 short-lived shows featuring lost actor Harold Perrineau? That would be The Unusuals.
Yep.
Following classic TV shows is a remake. That would be Three's Company.
Three's Company.
Good job, Will.
Yes.
Good job, Will.
Good job. 100%.
So we got 2 more sections to go over.
Oh,
That was
okay.
the first one. So this next one is called Guess the Defender.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to name
I don't like
a
this.
movie, and there's one of the actors from the Defenders, one of the 4 Defenders that
I don't know
was in
any
the movie I'm
movie-
going to mention.
I don't know any movies Charlie Cox has been in,
You can guess.
or Finn Jones, or
You
the actor from Luke Cage. So
It's okay. You
I
can
think I'm most familiar
guess.
with Kristen Ritter's filmography, but we can go for it.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
yeah,
Let's do it.
okay.
Yeah, so it'll be a movie or a TV show, and this actor or actress will be in it. You don't have to say the actual actor's name if you want. You could just say Daredevil or Jessica
Oh,
Jones.
thank God. Okay.
Okay, so first up, Stardust.
Oh, Charlie Cox. I mean Daredevil, for sure.
Charlie Cox. Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, next
I love
up,
that movie.
Breaking Bad.
Kristen
Kristen
Ritter.
Ritter. Yeah, obviously Kristen Ritter.
Next up is Big Eyes.
Big Eyes. I never even watched this movie. Finn Jones. Oh, Danny Rand.
I never saw Big Eyes. I'm not even sure.
Take a guess.
I'm gonna say Kristen Ritter. Because I think I saw her talk about it, or some interview with her talking about Big Eyes or something like that.
Oh, maybe.
So
Who
yeah, but I've
knows?
never seen the movie. So
Okay, the next is a TV series called The Bill.
The hell?
the what?
Where did you find this?
So
Was this
take a guess if you don't know. There's only
Was this
4
like-
choices.
was this 2 episodes from 1990? I'm gonna guess Luke Cage, since I definitely think you got something he was in from this, and this guy's not a major actor or anything.
When he was a child, yeah. I'm gonna go with that because it's an older show, if I'm not mistaken. So I think Luke Cage is the oldest
the oldest actor of the group.
actor. Yeah, so he probably did the show as a kid or something like that. So I'm going with that.
Next up is a recent TV series called Agent X.
Oh my God!
Oh man,
I
how long
hate
did that
this
last?
round.
Did that last 5 minutes or something? Each of that?
Probably, yeah. Next, yeah, probably lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go with
Charlie Cox.
Luke Cage on this one. I'm going with Luke Cage on this one.
I'm going with Charlie Cox.
Next up, Boardwalk Empire.
Oh,
Oh, Charlie, what's his face? Daredevil.
Charlie Cox. I'm going with him.
Okay. Next up, The Good Wife.
Oh man, how many more of these are there?
More after this. Some of them are easy, some are hard.
I haven't watched any of this stuff, so this is all hard. Like, the only thing I watched was, like, Breaking Bad, and that's how I knew Kristen Ritter was in it, because I saw those episodes.
There's some other ones coming up that you'll know.
Okay,
I'm going to give a 50-50 between Finn Jones and Luke Cage on Good Wife, but I feel like Finn Jones is... I feel like Finn Jones is too young for this show, so I'm going with Luke Cage.
I'm going with Finn Jones.
Next up, the easiest one of all, Game of Thrones.
Finn Jones.
Finn Jones.
Because you told me earlier, and then I googled it and I realized he was Loras Tyrell. I was like, oh my god, that guy.
I was surprised you didn't remember that.
You know what? I just never remembered his name. That's it.
Oh, that's true.
He didn't even look like him if I'm in the show, so I was like,
that's true.
He's a competent actor. He was totally competent in Game of Thrones.
He was a competent actor in Game of Thrones. Yep.
Next up is the Angelina Jolie movie from 2010, Salt.
Ew.
Salt.
That was a bad one. That was a bad movie. But if I had to pick, I don't know, because I blocked that movie from my mind.
Charlie Cox. Charlie Cox was in that movie, I bet.
Sure. Let's go with him. I'm not really sure on that one. I blocked that movie from my mind, so I don't even know.
I only saw bits and pieces of that movie. It was horrible.
And last from this one, another fairly easy one, I think. The TV series Veronica Mars.
Oh, Kristen Ritter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the Guest of the Defenders round, Stardust, you guys both guessed right. It starred Charlie Cox. Breaking Bad, of course, you both got right. Jessica Jones. Guys, actually, Ed, you got that one right. Jessica Jones.
Oh, nice.
The Bill, neither one of you got that right. It was Finn Jones.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea what the hell the bill even was. So,
I have no idea what that is.
Agent X, you guessed this one right, Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Boardwalk Empire, you guys both got right. Charlie Cox, Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Ed, again, you came out ahead. Luke Cage.
Oh, nice.
Game of Thrones, of course, both got it right. Salt, both got it wrong. Actually, Luke Cage.
Oh, okay.
Was he like a FBI agent or something? He seems like he played like an FBI agent in that movie.
I think he was an agent in it, of some sort. Or a Secret Service agent or something.
Oh, yeah.
Veronica Mars, of course, you both got right. So the big winner for that round is Ed.
Sweet.
And the last is called 100 Over or Under. And I'm going to name a TV show, and you tell me if it had 100 episodes exactly, if it had under 100 episodes, or more than 100 episodes.
Oh, man.
Right, what?
Oh, man. That's going to be tough.
You're going to name like some show I never heard of.
Yeah.
No, these are all these shows you've heard of. I guarantee you.
If it's the freaking Bill, I'm going to guess less than 100 episodes.
That'll be easy, yeah. If it's unknown, you'll
like 600 episodes. Like decades. Like Doctor Who, man.
Yeah, like Doctor Who.
Years been going on.
It's a huge hit in Poland.
Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. That.
So 100 over or under. Okay. First up, Burn Notice.
Burn Notice.
Over.
That came out in what, 2007?
About then, I think.
Somewhere around then, and it ended in 2013. Yeah, that's definitely over 100 episodes. I don't know how many, but yeah, over.
Yeah, they had a good number of seasons.
Breaking Bad.
Under.
That was like, it was like a 16 episode season or something like that.
Yeah.
They couldn't have had more than.
It was 5 seasons, and
it was like something like 60 something episodes, I believe.
They were never more than like 16 episodes in a season.
No, because the first season 2 was like 6 episodes.
Yeah, the first season was 6 episodes.
That was the strike season. That was the infamous strike season when all the shows had those short seasons, including Lost.
It was probably for the best. I mean, I watched the first season of Breaking Bad. I don't see how they could stretch that out to like a full season.
No.
I think that's perfectly paced. So the writer's strike, I think that's fortunate for them because.
Same thing with Lost. That was probably Lost's best season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mad Men.
Over 100.
I don't know.
That was on for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's a shorter, because it's AMC, right? AMC doesn't do full 22s. I don't think that ever hit 100, if I'm not mistaken. Plus, it took like a couple years off, I think.
Oh, did it?
A year off, yeah. So I'm going to go with under on that one.
I'm going to go with under. I'm going to agree with that. here. Final
Okay.
answer.
Next up, Stargate Atlantis.
Wait, Atlantis?
Atlantis?
Not SG-1?
No, SG-1's too easy. That was around forever.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, shit. I remember, I don't think that one went on for that long.
I didn't go on for that long.
I think I'm going under. I'm going under on that one.
Because, I don't know. I
If you
never
said SG-1, definitely over.
I never followed Stargate that closely to know how many episodes that was or how long that was around.
Next up, the show that put HBO on the map, The Sopranos.
Oh my god. That was 7 seasons too, right? No, that was more than 7 seasons.
I'm going to say...
That was it was 6. It was 6 seasons and there were probably like 12 episodes each, I believe. So I'm going under on that one too.
Were they 12 episodes?
I'm pretty sure. HBO doesn't do like full seasons.
That's true, they don't.
They don't do full 22. That's why their programming is so much better, because they feel like short movies. They feel like long movies, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go with
It's
under.
less than the Marvel Netflix shows.
I'm going to say under. I don't even think Game of Thrones has 100 episodes, to be honest.
No, because it's 10 episodes a season, right?
Yeah.
And
so that's not typical for HBO. So yeah, I'm going to go with under.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Sons of Anarchy.
Over.
Really?
Yeah. They're not all good. He's not.
No, I don't know. It's FX, same thing. FX doesn't do full seasons. I'm going under.
I'm going over. There was like 7 seasons.
Oh.
There was 7 seasons of like Sons of Anarchy and stuff. So I don't know. Unless you're just like throwing like a bunch of unders at us, which
I'm going like if Sons of Anarchy is like 12 or 13 episode seasons and there were 7 of them, that's still under 100. That's still under 100. So that's where I'm going at. That's my mentality.
And last up is Lost.
Over
for sure. The first.
Okay, so here's the answers for this round. Burn Notice had over 100 episodes at 111. You both got that right. Had under exactly 62 episodes. Again, you both got that right. Mad Men had under with 92 episodes, right on the edge there.
Oh, jeez.
Both got that right, guessing under. Stargate Atlantis was the only show on this list that had exactly 100 episodes.
I knew you would freaking do that. I knew you would do one that was exactly, because when you rated it, when you said, oh, it's either over, under, or exactly, and I was like, I'm not going to get the one that's exactly 100 episodes. I'm not going to sit here and say, yes, exactly, because I don't know, even my favorite shows, I don't know how many episodes exactly they So I knew I was going to miss that one.
The Sopranos ran for 86 episodes. You guys both got that right, under. Ed was right. It ran for 92 episodes. Exactly the same number as Mad Men. Again, like 8 episodes shy. One more season, half a season. Lost, of course, over 121 episodes. The longest running of the bunch.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Ed takes that one by 1.
Yes. I knew I was.
And, so that's it for the trivia.
Sweet.
Ed takes the championship.
Man. That was fun. You had me on my toes there for a little bit. I had to put my thinking cap on. Now I'm wide awake.
That was a challenge. That was like, but I knew it was going to be a challenge because like Tyson, like he knows his like TV trivia. Like we can talk about anything, and he'll pull out like some random fact he does that all the time. Like
a lot of the stuff I didn't know. I have no idea what the bill is.
Oh, really?
I needed something with everybody in it, and Finn Jones wasn't in much.
But that's what I said. Yeah, like the second round was hard because these people haven't really been in much, except for like you said freaking Luke Cage.
Kristen Ritter had quite a bit. Charlie Cox is a hard one because he's British. Yeah. So like the second I start naming British shows, you guys are gonna know exactly who it is.
I'm definitely most familiar with Kristen Ritter. So
and it was Luke Cage was like he was in Salt, but he was probably like in that movie
for like 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
And that movie was horrible. So.
Got shot in the head or something.
Yeah. And that movie was horrible, so you wouldn't even like remember.
He probably held his wrist up to his mouth and said, "We have it all clear," and then got shot in the head.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, gentlemen, it's okay if I dip out. It's 1:50 and I gotta go.
We should end it here anyway. So it was cool having you on the podcast.
Go over well just to end off, but Ed, you can take off. Before you go though, I want everybody to know that they can reach you on Enthusiast. That's film under, it's film-enthusiast, right?
Yes, Film Enthusiast is, we're doing a lot of cool stuff this in 2017. It's going to be a big year for us. We are going to be promoting a short film, actually, that one of our writers did.
Really?
We're going to be promoting that over the next week, so check that out. My feature film will come out in October. That's kind of separate from Film Enthusiast, but
nice. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Oh, it's going to be a very interesting one. I hope so. But we will be promoting it on Film Enthusiast as well. Tons of reviews. Just dropped a Beauty and the Beast review. We're going to be doing top 10 lists every week. We got a huge team of new writers coming in. So Young Blood's going to be there, and so we maybe we'll do a crossover with film and TV one of these days. I'd love it.
I would love to do a crossover. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Love to.
Sure.
Love it.
Awesome. All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, good
guys.
talking to you again. Bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you later, Ed. Bye. Okay, so we're in our last segment of our podcast here. Ed had to take off. We just have to go over what's coming up in the next week and some of the big things to look forward to in April. So what's coming up in the next week? Grace and Frankie, by the time this podcast is out, will be up and available on Netflix, the 3rd season. Sunday, the miniseries To Walk Invisible, the Bronte sisters, will be on PBS. On Monday, Jack Taylor and Asylum are on Acorn. A Rebel comes to BET. On Wednesday, Harlots comes to Hulu. Imaginary Mary to ABC and Nobody's TV Land. Friday, 13 Reasons Why hits Netflix as well as Border Town. So not a lot that's really super recognizable for us, but what's coming up, because this is the last week of March, and April is just, as I said before, April is going to basically be TV Christmas. Starting right away on April 1st, Attack on Titan Season 2. Let's see here, April 4th, iZombie, and also the return of Prison Break, and the next capsule, I guess is what they're calling it. They're part of a season for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, okay.
On Wednesday.
Very interesting premise for that I just read. I'm not caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's a very interesting premise.
It is. It's definitely a big twist. I'm looking forward to it. Wednesday, April 5th, Archer. The Get Down comes back on April 7th. Better Call Saul, April 10th. Science Theater 3000, April 14th. New trailer just came out for that. Have you seen that yet?
No, I haven't.
It looks like what you wanted. It looks like it's Joel and the robots doing commentary over the movies and the other people in the skits.
That is awesome. April 14th is going to be the best day ever in the history of Netflix. Actually, I was on Netflix and I saw they had some of the classic episodes already on Netflix, including my...
Oh, cool. So they get the rights for it then. Cool.
Yeah, including one of my personal favorites, Laser Blast. So that's super cool. I'm super excited to see it come back. I hope
April 15th, Doctor Who comes back, as well as has a new spin-off series called Class. The Leftovers is back on the 16th. Fargo for its 3rd season.
Oh, nice.
I heard Noah Hawley's taking kind of a backseat role in this because he had to focus on Legion, but he has like his same writers that were working for him are kind of that season. So it should still be good. Silicon Valley comes back on April 23rd. Will's favorite show of all time, Gotham, comes back on April 24th.
Oh, yeah, Gotham.
Will just loves his Gotham.
Oh, God, yeah.
But here's the big one. Here's the big one for me.
I love all the hot women on Gotham.
Here's the big one for I think both of us, which is April 30th, American Gods.
Yes, yeah, that's the big one. That's the big one.
So that's what's coming up in the next month. So the next week is looking a little light, but just think about that. We got Silicon Valley, Mystery Science Theater 3000, Attack on Titan, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and so, I mean, Better Call Saul. It's a huge month for great TV shows. But that brings us to an end of this podcast. So you can reach me on Twitter. I'm at Tyson Gifford. You can reach Will on Twitter. He is at Voxel Hero. You can also reach Ed on Twitter. He is at Film Film Enthusiast 2, the number 2, not like right now. You can check out our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, as well as our site, TVEnthusiast.com. You can subscribe to the podcast through any major podcast client like iTunes or Pocket Cast, and the entire backlog of our podcast is available on our YouTube channel. And this was our 100th episode. Hopefully we got another 100 in us. We'll see. But yeah, we got more coming up, more podcasts to go. So stay tuned to TV Enthusiast and the Weekly Set podcast. Bye.
Bye.
If you would like to voice your opinion, send an email to theweeklyset@TVEnthusiast.com. TV Enthusiast is a part of the Enthusiast Media Network. Stay tuned to TV Enthusiast and the Weekly Set podcast for more coverage of all